right?
We're getting a lot of way down here. Never take a night.
to all our guests from other clubs, parent clubs and amalgamated committees. Thanks also to the Melody Flute and the Newtownards First Flute and all members of the public here tonight. You can all see the fantastic effigy of Lundy, and for this we once again thank Brother Trevor Brands and his sons, brothers Simon and Tyler. I would like to now call on I'd like to call Brother Ronnie Cole from our parent club for the light the effigy.
Get on the rod. That's right, on board, Ronnie, on board. Come on, yeah, closer. Like the 4 eagles
I'd like to thank Brother Irvine.
Thank you, brothers. We're here this evening to celebrate the shutting of the gates when on the 7th of December 1688, 13 young apprentices closed the gates of Derry in the face of James II and his Jacobite army. Few people know the story of the siege of Derry and the role of the apprentice boys. Even fewer realise the debt that the United Kingdom owes them. And this, a crucial story in British history. On the 5th of November 1688, William of Orange landed at Brixham in southwest England and deposed of James II. James fled to France on the 23rd of December but plotted to take back the crown. His plan was to use Ireland as a base, invade Scotland, and from Scotland then move on into England. To get to Scotland, he needed to take the port of Derry. If he controlled this city, he would have a direct route to Scotland and would command the essential staging post for his attempt to regain the British crown. On the 7th of December 1688, the forces of James II, who still controlled the rest of Ireland, reached Derry. Among some in the city as to the proper response against such an overwhelming military force. Thankfully, it was 13 apprentice boys who, realising the weakness of the city's leadership at the time, took matters into their own hands and famously slammed the gates shut on the advancing army. The action of these brave 13 men was to reverberate down through the centuries. By the simple action of shutting the gates, they were literally to shut James out of the British kingdom entirely and to change the course of both British and world history. If James' army had taken Derry, he would have been able to mount an assault on the mainland, and the history of Britain and the world could have been quite different. We may never have had a united kingdom. The siege was eventually broken on the 28th of July 1689 when merchant ships the Mountjoy and the Phoenix, with covering fire from the HMS Dartmouth and under the authority of William, sailed up the River Foyle to breach a timber boom which had been stretched across the river. Shortly after, the besieging forces burned their camp and fled. William was to win the Battle of the Boyne in 1690, followed by Aughrim and Limerick both in 1691. Decisive battles which helped to secure the future for a united kingdom, which was to follow on the 1st of May 1707. However, without the decisive action of the apprentice boys on that winter's morning in 1688, our country and the world may well have come to look completely different. modern day, as we see the effigy of Lundy burning, I sit as an independent councillor in Lords and North Down Borough Council, which remains one of the very few predominantly unionist councils still in Ulster. But trust me, from what I've witnessed since taking up the post, this is slowly and surely being eroded away by certain political parties. These parties have an agenda against our Protestant culture and heritage and are intent on destroying and extinguishing all aspects of it. So I stand here in front of you this December evening to stress the importance of every Protestant, Unionist and Loyalist voting in the upcoming election. I asked every one of you to leave here tonight and go back to your families, friends and work colleagues, urging them to vote and spread the word as far and wide as possible. Unfortunately, we have become a culture that no longer votes. The modern day mentality, particularly in the younger generation, is that politicians do nothing, or they believe their vote doesn't count. But it is these attitudes that are seeing unionism lose the majority vote. We need to make the PUL community aware again that every vote counts, and now is the time to put unionists back in the forefront of Northern Ireland politics. So please, 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 get to the polling stations from now on and fill in your ballot paper with all unionist candidates from top to bottom to ensure that Ards and North Down stays unionist.
Could I ask the worthy Governor Graham Stenhouse to come forward?
For the President, Vice President, officers and members of Newtownards, Apprentice Boys of Derry Branch Club, Lieutenant Governor, President and officers of the Apprentice Boys of Derry Parent Club, distinguished guests, brethren, bands personnel, can I thank you very much for the warm invite to be here this evening, and as always for the excellent hospitality. Can I commend the excellent words from our good friend there, chatting about the story of the siege, which is without doubt one of the most remarkable stories in history. And let's not make any bones about it, brethren. If it hadn't been for the actions of these 13 brave men, where would we be today? It changed history in the UK, Great Britain and of course Western Europe. Can I commend the officers and members of the local branch club for an excellent effigy that's been built tonight. Please continue to represent the association in Newtownards with the proper decorum as you always do. Please wear your crimson with pride, and thank you for the support that you give to the members of the association in the Maiden City. Remember the cry from April 1689 from Bishopsgate, no surrender.
Could I now ask Brother Ronnie Cole, the President of our parent club, to step forward with a presentation for him here. I'd like to remind everyone that there's food and refreshments available in the Orange Hall on our return, and everyone is welcome. So I now ask the parade to now reform for a return to the Orange Hall.